Welcome to my Tuesday live hangout. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Had to do a hair and makeup. People already saying that they're gonna hit the thumbs up. I had two thumbs up already before I even started the live stream. That's well, you wouldn't be the same without you guys. But let's talk about a few things today. We got a polls to review that we did last time. We got a little bit of a e-word show going on. I think I'm going to put it on pause today because I want to talk about, the big Tesla order, the fact that it's $1 trillion company. There's a lot to unpack there. I'll take your questions, of course, as always, and super chats. And also going to tell you about my day off that I had yesterday. It was my second day off this year, and I spent it in the best place on earth, at least for me. No, it's not Disneyland. It's here in California. I'll share all everything with you. But for now, in the chat, in the live chat, put where you're watching me from, and also what kind of electric car you're driving or shopping from. And we're gonna shopping from or shopping for, and we're gonna start right now. Welcome to E4 Electric. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button. Well, not this one in particular, the one that's right there in your browser or whatever on your phone. And then don't forget to hit the thumbs up because we already had a few thumbs down already. I see a few people gathering. Some of the regulars: Jay Ramirez, Christian from Houston. From vacation in Germany, says Greasy GP2. How are things in Germany? Boom, right away. Nate Jones, the regular super chatter, and probably one of the biggest fans of the live stream, has already super chatted. So let's get to it. He said, "Thank you, Nate. As always, you guys know that right after this, I go to Chipotle, so that will go towards my chicken bowl." Nate says, "I am picking up a vehicle frame this weekend. I plan to use it for my alternative energy vehicle prototype." That's really cool, man. Would love to see a picture. And is this going to be a conversion? Is this just going to be from scratch? Like, that's a big project. So congratulations and thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Paul says, Model 3 watching from Massachusetts. Model 3s are going to be pushed back a little bit because, as we know, Hertz put in 100,000 order for the Model 3s, and the stock went up by like 12%. And you guys are going to have to explain this to me because I do not understand. Like, I don't invest in the stock market in general. I mean, my 401k is like, there for a while. But you're going to have to explain this. So, the order was put in for 100,000 Model 3s. Now, it's, Elon actually tweeted perfectly today. He said, we're not a demand problem company. We are a ramp up problem company, right? So this 100,000 Model 3s were going to get sold anyway. So putting up that order from Hertz wasn't going to really benefit the sales of the company. Now, if anything, at that time, if I'm an investor, I'm thinking, those 100,000 Model 3s will have to be sold at the discount because rental car companies, they buy these cars, in bulk. They get huge discounts. As a matter of fact, when they auction off the used rental cars with, 20, 30,000 miles on it, a lot of times they almost break even because of how cheap they got it in the first place. So if anything, if I'm an investor, I'm thinking like, this company I'm investing will make less money, not more money. So the stock should go down. So that's why I don't really understand it. Now, Elon, clarified today that there will be no discounts. Now, if you calculate, I know Model 3 just went up in price by, I think, $2,000. It was the order was placed before that. So if you divide, I think I forget what the value was of the order, but if you divide that by 100,000 Model 3s that they ordered, you get about 42,000, which was the starting price of the Model 3 before the price hike. Now, that also means that either they're getting a little bit of a discount or they're just buying stripped, bottom of the barrel Model 3s, which I'm not really sure. Like, I don't rent cars very often. So let me know, guys, in the comment section, in a live chat, when you rent cars, are they fully loaded or are they kind of stripped down versions? I don't even know what the standard is. Good to see more people coming in. Tennessee, Fort Lightning, says Robert. Dave just said I'm here. That's good. That's good to know. Where here, Dave? Let us know. Marvin from Los Angeles. Martin from Berlin. Awesome. I got to get there one day. Brian from Minnesota. Musa from Palestine. Nice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Absolutely. That's so. I've never. I don't think I've ever seen a viewer from Palestine. So that's great. Jerry Ramirez says he is waiting for 4680 batteries. It looks like they're coming. Panasonic just showcased their version of it, and it looks like it's I don't want to say on target, but it looks like at least it's a reality now. So that's pretty cool. Rob from Oklahoma City. Let's see. Bradley says, I forgot to tell you, I am from New Jersey. So is Tom Malogny, by the way. I don't know if you guys checked out the last video that I made. Doing actually very well. Sometimes I'm surprised how many people end up watching the video versus sometimes I think I produced the genius, amazing video and nobody's watching it except for my mom. So, all right. So no one's explaining to me why Tesla stock went up. Now, because of the stock going up, I think it's now past $1,000 per share. It is now it is $1 trillion company, and even though I think all of this market stuff is really it just makes no sense to me, but I love the fact that the most valued company in the world by market cap, but nevertheless, is the company that makes nothing but electric cars. So therefore, people should be you know, doing the same thing. And my last video was about this whole love, like the bromance between Elon and Herbert Dees. And I know half of you commented that you guys just the last name is funny to you, but okay. Um, and how Elon showed up to Volkswagen Group's executive meeting, and then after that, Herbert Dees posted something I never thought a CEO of a car company would ever post. So anyway, you can watch that video. But I got another super chat already, and for another $5 from Sanjit Danda. Hope I pronounced your name. I've butchered so many names, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just really, really bad at it. But that completes my $10 chicken bowl at Chipotle later on. He says the Hertz purchase reduced the perceived risk of there being a demand problem after Texas and Berlin ramp up. Purchase plus free advertising. Yes, they're also ramping up an advertising campaign as well. I forget who their spokesperson for it is. I think it's a sports guy, and says I only watch hockey. I don't know any other sports figures. So, but it's I've never heard. I mean, yes, it makes sense that there might be concern about the demand problem with two new factories. But honestly, like if you try to order a Model 3 right now, it's already June delivery date. So I don't think. I mean, I haven't not even thought about a demand problem. But yes, I can see. But still, I mean, come on, the stock going up by 12%. I don't get it. But that's an interesting point. All right, I see a quick message from Nate as a follow up. He says, and thank you, Sanjeev, for the super chat. Um, Nate says, I've only had a couple of rental cars, but I do know that they have tiers. The more expensive the rental price, the more bells and oh, that's interesting. So I guess then, if the Model 3s are stripped down, it's going to be on the lower tier. Okay, I guess that makes sense. We'll see. Let me get to a few more comments. Wow, they're putting in a really quick. Okay, so I guess I was told by Eric McFarland, it's the Wayne Gretzky of the NFL. Oh, so what's his name? The spokesperson? Then that's a pretty big deal, right? Um, but yes, thank you for speaking in the hockey terms. For me, boom, another super chat. Wow, you guys wait until the last time. As a matter of fact, last time I got a super chat of like $40 or $50 after the live stream ended. And it was from the guy who actually wanted to disagree with me, which is, by the way, more than welcome to. As long as you're respectful, this channel is all about different opinions. As you know, I have amazing people like Tom Malogny and Sandy Monroe and others that disagree with me all the time. I disagree with them all the time, but I think the difference in opinion is what the value, a lot of the value of this channel is. But nevertheless, Chris says more car companies need to be led by the engineers and not MBAs. I agree with you partially. Yes, MBAs. I hated them in Silicon Valley when I was a software engineer, and I definitely don't like them in the car industry. But I also think it's not great to have an engineer in charge because, like for example, Elon Musk is an engineer. It's all about that. Engineers usually don't have a good understanding of user experience, and Elon doesn't. A lot of stuff is cool tech stuff, but the user interaction and experience is actually not that great. Customer service is not that great. I had I'll tell you about my day off yesterday today. Um, I'll tell you about my day off that I had yesterday today. But the guy who valeted my car really liked the ID4 because he's never driven an electric car before, and to him, it's a great transition, which ID4 is all about. And he told me how much he hates Tesla because of it's hard for him to interact with always with a touch screen. Everything through the touch screen is, and I understand most people have that issue. People who drive Teslas, they are techies essentially. They love that stuff, and I love that stuff as well. But majority of the people they're not there yet. So I'd rather have a user experience designer or someone who is in customer service lead the company, or at least be partially part of it. So I agree with you, but partially, but that's okay. Disagreeing is fine. And thank you for the super chat. I already got another super chat before I even tried catching up with other comments. This one is from Bradley Horn. He said nothing. He just threw money at me. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I don't think I've seen you very often here, Bradley, but welcome if this is your, one of the rare live streams that you join, or maybe you're just quiet. So thank you for supporting my channel. Just in case if you guys don't know, this is my full-time job and been so for 3 years. As a matter of fact, the reason I took a day off, and this was my second day off in the entire year, and I spent it in the best place on earth, which I think is the best place on earth, which is Santa Cruz, California. I posted some videos on my Instagram. That's where I usually kind of post more personal behind the scenes stuff. I should post it in the community tab also. I will do that. And then Capitola next door. Lots of memories. I used to come there all the time, so lots of great memories. So and I decided to just take a day off and celebrate what's going to be upcoming 5-year anniversary of this channel. It's actually going to hit on November 8th, but I'm already scheduled to be in Las Vegas for SEMA. Hopefully I'll see Rich Rebuilds there. I'm supposed to see the F-150 Lightning there. And I wanted to celebrate it in Santa Cruz, so I decided to drive. I drove on Sunday night, got there at 2 a.m. It was pouring rain, but I woke up and it was beautiful sun, which I knew. I actually looked at the weather forecast and I had a great day, but it started rocky. It started by my car, and I kid you guys not, my ID4 stalling in the middle of a freaking road, and people had to literally push it like it's a clunker. And I'm like, what? And then it was complaining something about the charge port being faulty or something like that. And then I restarted it and it went back to normal and it never happened again. So that was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed just even telling you this, but as you guys know, full disclosure, everybody says, Alex always bumps up the ID4. No, this got some problems, man. And it's obviously was a software problem. So they need to roll out that update sooner rather than later. Okay. Thank you, Bradley. I got 2 more super chats. Let me get to them. Sorry, guys. I know I'm missing a lot of comments, but this chat is growing really, really fast. All right. The next one is from Ryan Martin. I've seen you here before. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining me again. Very help with EV queues. Thank you. I'm gonna assume you meant helpful. I am trying to answer as many as possible. Let me know if you have one. Usually super chats is so you go on top of the list for questions. But thank you. You guys are amazing. Like I said, this is my full-time job, and I work, 60 hours a week at least. When I say, if people say, well, isn't that a lot of work? I mean, it used to be my hobby, so it's a lot of work, but also I love the work. So is it work? I don't know. Let me know also if you guys love your job or your career and stuff like that. That means you never work a day in your life. There are some things that I don't want to do, like dealing with sponsors and all that legal stuff. It's not fun, believe me. All right, so here's another one. Let me catch up. Musa. I hope I pronounced your name right. Right. If it's not Musa, then it's Musa, right? $5. Your podcast is awesome. Thank you so much. It's actually a what do you call it? Live stream. Yeah. I thought about doing a podcast and I did it, but I'm just I'm also on TikTok and all the other social media, and so it never kind of took off. But maybe I should think about it again. It is essentially podcast. I know a lot of people when they watch my videos, they actually listen to them while driving their car. So, all right. So I think I'm all caught up. So thank you, Muse. I really appreciate it. I think I'm all caught up with everyone. Oh, okay. Here's some people talking about their jobs, which is great. Um, Kagazuki says, I'm a nurse. I love helping people, but I hate the work if it makes sense. Yes, it does make sense. My last job was at Oracle, and I same thing. I love the people I worked with, but I hated the actual work. That's okay. Not everything has to be fun, right? But if you still come home and if you wake up in the morning and that sound of an alarm is not an annoying sound, but an exciting sound, your life is good. Um, Someone said Energy 84 says got to see X Row at CES 2. There's so many things to see at CES, but I'm not even thinking about CES. I'm thinking about SEMA, which is next week. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going to Vegas for. I mean, I live there, so I'll spend an entire week there. Before that, I'm going to Tucson, Arizona to check out Too Simple, which is the first public company, the first self-driving technology public company. Um, and they have a technology for self-driving semi-trucks. So I'm going to be checking it out. They're becoming a sponsor as well. And then there's LA Auto Show, and I'm brand ambassador for that. So there's a lot. You know what? Speaking of sponsors, I completely forgot to introduce you guys to my sponsor. Let me get the graphics right. The last time the sound didn't really work, so let me see if we can actually get that right this time around, because this video is sponsored by a company that I actually like, and I did a video with them, which is Energy Pal. And let's see if we can get the video playing. So Energy Pal is if you're shopping for your home solar system, it's the best place online to shop for it. Review, compare quotes, and all that stuff. They actually do all the hard work for you, and all you do is get to save, and you'll get the best rates. Plus, you'll get after your installation is done. You'll get an E4Electric viewer exclusive $500 gift card when you use the link that's in the description of this video. If you've never used them and you don't know what they are, whatever, like well, I just told you, but also there's a link to it. I have a video about it. Shopping for solar is really, really tough. And essentially you just like you fill out the form, they do a consultation with you, and then they put together the entire thing. Quality versus like the rates, what kind of batteries do you need? They do all of that stuff for you. And even that, even though that is a streamlined person, that process that takes a while. I got quotes for both of my houses in Sacramento, where I'm at, and in Nevada, in Las Vegas. And check out, I just kind of did a live quote so you can see how it works. Love that company. Thank you for sponsoring the channel. And you guys, they're giving you an exclusive $500 gift card, which is actually unheard of. That's a lot of money upon installation. All right, while I was talking, I got another super chat. Let me get to that. This one is from Andy Roberts. Andy, thank you once again. He says, I think Tesla stock went up on the Hertz deal because it further legitimizes. Why do you make me use like big words like that? Legitimizes them for the normies. What do you think? Yes. Okay, I agree with you. Just like I agree with the other point. Absolutely. When your rental company, when you get to the airport or want to rent something for the weekend, has a bunch of Teslas out there, you go like, whoa, like they've arrived. Absolutely agree. That is great point. I actually haven't thought about this, but I'm talking about, this is not how investors think. Investors care about money, right? How does this bring Tesla more money? It doesn't. Those 100,000 cars are going to be sold no matter what. Now I can understand the whole demand concern, which I just never heard of. Maybe there is a concern about whether or not they're going to be able to sell all these cars once 2 more factories come online. I don't think it's going to be a problem. And don't forget, they've been raising prices over and over and over again. The other day they raised prices on Model S and Model X by $5,000, and there's still a big. I don't see a demand problem here. I got to tell you, and they're selling it all over the place. They can start selling in more countries if they wanted to. So yeah, I don't really see a problem. But Thank you so much for the super chat. That buys me another chicken ball way into this week, which does help because I have a few dates to go on. Oh yeah, so let's see. Let me go through a few more comments here. Tenam Elvis says, Alex, and it takes the belief that all Teslas cost $100,000. Yeah, okay, that I agree with. That well, when people rent a car, they probably don't know how much it is, but they probably can guess because hopefully those will be priced lower. My only concern is when people like, is it going to backfire where people will be like, oh, I ran out of energy, I ran out of battery, and I didn't know where to charge. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if we're going to have those moments all over the place. Hopefully not. All right. Grizzly HP2 says, ever had a look at the X Bus, the new EV to come in 2022? What do you think of it? Buses are just. I've done so many segments on buses, including visiting. I had this exclusive tour of the bus factory of BYD here in Southern California. And every time I do a bus story, nobody really is that excited. So I kind of stopped doing like exclusive bus stories unless there's something amazing about it. I don't know if people are that interested. Um, let's see. Christian Richards says slowing normal people orders for Hertz might actually get people to cancel their own orders. I agree, but I think by then both factories in Berlin and China will be making. I'm sorry, Berlin and Texas will be making enough cars to cover that 100,000 relatively easily. I think, or at least just cover it for sure. Um, Oh, well, I got corrected. Grizzly HP2 says X-Bus is a personal EV. You know what? If you don't mind, drop me a link to them on Twitter. You can just message me there, and I'll definitely check it out. That kind of escaped my attention, I guess. Let's see. 10M Elvis says if you want to rent it at Hertz, you can buy a Tesla. Oh, well, a second. Does Hertz sell their cars? Like if you like rented a car from Hertz and you want to buy it and just keep driving it? I don't know if they do that, but they might. Okay. So by the way, really quick, let me get back to something that we were doing last time, which was basically we did like I did a little poll of the best and worst looking um, front end of an electric vehicle. And so I posted a poll in the community section. I tried to post a lot of polls in the community section. I think those are fun. This one was for the ugliest one. And look at that. Guess who won that poll? I don't know if it was a surprise. I'm surprised that Chevy Bolt caught up so much. And I'm surprised how little Lucid Air got because I got to tell you, even though I like Lucid Air's front end, a lot of people hated it, especially 3 years ago. That's why I kind of threw it in there. But I guess people love it now. I agree with them. But yes, the monkey butt front, as I call it, is super ugly. I don't know why they keep going with this design. I don't know a single person, even BMW lover, who just goes like, "Oh my god, that is so sexy." No, I don't understand why they're doing it, but they're doing it, and that's why they are in the lead in that poll. 4,500 votes. So I think that's pretty solid results, I think. All right, and now for the prettiest one. No surprise there, with more than half, we got the Tesla Model S. This is a refreshed version. I thought that the car looked amazing back in 2012 when I got it. I think it looks just as amazing with the refreshed front end. Well, I guess twice refreshed. Um, so no surprise there. Now Audi e-tron GT also made a run for it with 25%. And I actually thought it would get more because it is really, really nice looking. But I guess I have a lot of Tesla fans watching, and they are loyal to their brand. Now, at number three, we got the Ford Mustang Mach-E GT, which I just test drove recently. Amazing car. As a matter of fact, I have a friend who just actually totaled his gas-powered GT, and so now is ready to buy a regular electric. I should just say, instead of a regular, he's going to buy the electric GT. But the problem is they're hard to find, and the markup is ridiculous. I mean, $10,000 on average is a markup for Mustang Mach-E. So I don't know. I think it will drive them away this time around, and that's a shame. But yeah, I thought we definitely could have converted him, but the markup. And again, listen, it's capitalism. I don't really, I get it. I don't blame the dealerships getting the money they sort of know they can make. But still, we could have gotten this guy because he's a power guy and kind of a gearhead almost. I think he's one of the people I play soccer with, and he was like, yeah, sure, I'll buy an electric Mustang. And hopefully next time when they're a little bit more sort of affordable in terms of, even if I'm assuming even a lot of people can afford it, they just don't want to pay the $10,000 for no reason whatsoever, right? Well, here's an interesting comment. Tenem Elvis says the dealership model will be the death of legacy auto. Actually, I disagree. There are some benefits to dealerships, and they're not going away just because that's the way the law is written. You essentially will have to rewrite the law and bankrupt all the dealerships across the country, and I don't think anybody would ever do that. Um, there are benefits. Like for example, I went with a legacy auto manufacturer with my electric vehicle is because dealerships have service centers. And I like when there are tons of service centers around me, no matter where it is. My Volkswagen broke down for a second in Santa Cruz. I know it fixed itself immediately, but if it didn't, there would be a service center there and not 5 hours away. And the customer service is better because they know they're running a business, and they have competition, and they have to provide customer service. Tesla doesn't. I bet Rivian and Lucid will have some problems with that as well. So there are some benefits for that. I got another message from Pedro in Russian. It says, "Good evening, Guberman." That's in Russia. It's kind of common to like address somebody by their last name. Here it almost sounds like offensive, right? But no. Um, Let me check up on a few other comments. Let's see. Martin says, "Can you make a hangout voting with grill-less EVs?" You know, every EV has a grill. I mean, you might not notice it, but at the bottom, or at least almost every, at the bottom, there is still a little grill because they do take a little bit of air in, no matter what. So at least most models, and how they partially cool down the battery and some of the other parts in the motor and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like I was more excited about the polls than you guys last time. That's why I figured, no, let's step back from that a little bit. So that's what I did. I actually have another idea, guys. You know what? Let me run it by you right now. Before I get, well, let me get to Enrique's comments first, and then I'll get to that unless there are any super chats. Enrique Moreno says legacy manufacturers should aim for the cheap compact market since Tesla is not in there. It is the only place where they can compete. I disagree. I mean, yes, I agree, but also I disagree that that's the only place where they can compete. Like I said, they can outcompete Tesla any day with customer service, parts availability, service centers, and stuff. And you know it, right? So that's number one. And there are people like me where it's important the way the brand treats me. That's why I left Tesla. I didn't leave Tesla because I didn't like the cars. I love the cars. I just did not like being treated like that. So that's important to a lot of us. Also, don't forget, the legacy manufacturers are getting pretty close to Tesla in many different ways. The Mercedes-Benz EQS. I'm actually going to get it for a week from Mercedes in a few weeks, and I'll do probably a bit of a review there, even though I've been trying not to do reviews. But that one is just awesome. 350 miles on that car. The most luxurious electric car I've seen inside, even over Lucid. Great tech. So I can see a lot of people going for EQS. And by the way, e-tron GT as well over Tesla Model S, just because people want luxury in their electric cars. A lot of people, who are used to luxurious cars don't want to get a Tesla because they want their luxury. So it's actually something that legacy manufacturers do very well. Build quality is another one, paint jobs and stuff like that. But I mean, Tesla obviously is improving with new factories. But what comes out of Fremont, guys, come on, let's be honest. It's one of the worst quality cars made in the last decade. And even Sandy Munro said so. So yeah, I think there's a place for everybody. Definitely, Tesla is dragging everybody in the right direction. There would be no e-tron GT or EQS or any of those cars. And legacy manufacturers are competing on the lower end as well. The next year's 2022 Nissan Leaf is going to be under $20,000 after all of the incentives. And Chevy Bolt has lowered its price, um, probably mainly so you can also stock up on fire extinguishers. But nevertheless, I mean, we're getting there. I mean, I think ID4 is cheap. It's $33,000 after incentives now, and once the factories in Tennessee that I just visited a couple of months ago, actually last month, is finished, that price is going to be dropped by $5,000 more dollars. So that's going to be $28,000 after incentives for an ID4. That's insane. So no, I think the competition is there, and I'm loving it. Honestly, this year has been a great year for electric cars. All right, another super chat. This one is from Brian Vachinek. Vasinek. Again, awful with names. Anyway, Brian, thank you so much for $5 super chat. He said, just drove a Model Y yesterday. This from a day one Model 3 depositor. Bought a Bolt 2 years later while waiting in Minnesota. Next EV for sure is a Model Y. Let me know. Well, what do you think about your Bolt? I mean, I know besides the whole fire thing, I mean, I know a lot of Bolt owners just love their Bolts. And yeah, listen, as long as you're driving an electric car, Model Y, if there are some things that like bother me, don't bother you at all, which most people are not bothered by door handles or the lack of the screen in front of you, you know, it's a great car. You just have to wait. You just have to wait, especially if I would wait until they're making them in Texas because that one is going to be such a better quality compared to Fremont, including the paint shop, including so many things. So I would actually wait until they're cranking those out from there. But thank you so much, Brian, for this super chat. Um, let's see. All right. Well, I was gonna reminisce about the 5 years of doing the channel, but there's so many comments, you guys. And I thought, well, we have like 180 people watching. Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks, guys. Um, here's a random comment from Christian. Honestly, if the EV6 or Ionic 5 were here and available, I'd definitely sell my Model Y for one. Tech is nice, but they don't even come with half the features of other OEM cars. You know, I'm not a big fan of the look of those cars, but those cars are going to be amazing. The Kia and the Hyundai. I mean, I think the most important thing about those cars is that they're going to have one of the fastest charging rates. And by that, I mean how many realistic miles you're going to add per each minute of charging that car. That's very important. I mean, I just went all over the Bay Area and, I've been on the road for the last couple of days and I had to, fast charge. And that's important, like when you're trying to get home by 2 or 3 in the morning, it's a big difference between a 45 minutes of charging or maybe just 15 minutes of charging. Luckily, my range is pretty good, so I only charge for about 10 or 15 minutes. But nevertheless, once again, oh, we got a new premium member, which, by the way, you guys can become premium members. I know I haven't been posting as much of premium content as I used to, but all of that content is still there. I'm thinking about uh, adding more. I know I'm behind, but here's the thing. Let's see. Oh, it's kind of weird. I can't bring that up on the screen because in the chat you probably see that Bradley became a premium member. Let me see. Can I see that? No. All right. Let me just post his. Okay, there you go. Bradley Horn just bought the membership. Thank you so much. And guys, let me know what you want as far as like the content because I can do behind the scenes stuff, but I still have 20-minute interview with the CEO of Volkswagen Group of America laying around that I haven't even used for the news, but it's there. So I probably will post that because actually it's kind of a fun interview. Another super chat from a Master Mason 32. I've seen you around many times. Thank you so much for being a loyal viewer and now a super chatter. I don't know why I did this. So I don't do drugs, but I just got very excited. So glad to catch this again. I love the weekly stream. Thank you so much. I love doing these. I haven't really figured out the content and format. Like sometimes I bring somebody in. Sometimes I try to do some like fun stuff, like the eWords thing that I did. But I'm still. I mean, I just literally my favorite part is hanging out with you guys. But let me ask you a question. First of all, raise your hands if you know what NFTs are. NFT. And if you don't, then if you use cryptocurrency anywhere, just type it in, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this. There's another comment here from Pedro. He says, Pedro Sanchez says, oh, it's in Russian, so let me translate. He said, I'm interested to know um, about the next generation of Leaf, especially Aria. What are your thoughts on that? So Aria is really not the next generation of Leaf. It's just their crossover, and I guess Leaf, they said, will be sort of the next generation Leaf will also be a smaller crossover, I guess, but we don't even know what it looks going to look like. It's definitely not going to be Aria. Aria is coming out in a month or two. They've been testing it in the Bay Area. There are people taking videos of those. My friend actually who lives in the Bay Area takes videos of that all the time. There's a Nissan development center in Sunnyvale, so they're all over the place. I think Aria is a I think they might just be the biggest surprise of 2022 because it's a great car, looks great. It is going to be priced at 40,000. So after the incentives, we're talking about close to 30,000. It's going to be have a decent range. I don't know what the lower range is going to be. It's probably going to be around 200, but the upper is going to be around 300. So I think they will compete with ID4s and Mustang Mach E's, and I think they will compete hard, and there will be a lot of demand for that. It's just going to be a matter of how many they can sell. They haven't been publicizing it. Nissan hasn't contacted me or too many journalists about it at all. We don't have any test drive scheduled. It's kind of weird, but I think it's going to be big. What happens to Leave in the next year or two? Sure, I don't mind if they make a little crossover out of it. I just think they need to get going with a lot of other things. You know, refreshing Leave into something that's barely acceptable. That was great, but they need to do much, much more. So Ari is a good step, but it needs to be on the road. They need to get behind it. I don't think they are right now. They're not even behind Leave if you think about it. It's kind of like, having all these kids and not ever, having a bumper sticker. My kid is an honor student and whatever high school, right? Like they're just not proud of their kids. So, and Nissan Leaf, the second generation, is a pretty damn great electric car for the money. Like I said, it's under $20,000 coming into the next year. So yeah, it's all right. Another super chat from Master Mason 32. Thank you so much for $5. He says, if you do an NFT, I want to be on the list to get one of the first. So that's where I'm going with this. And I think you appreciate it. So, okay, well, let me see what you guys saying. All right. So then Grand 152 said own crypto, but no NFT. I'm just trying to parse out. Buzz off toxic block says, did you say NFTs? Yes, NFT game changer. I'm making memes, but would like to know more. Let's see any other comments on NFTs. Let's see. Nate says, I don't know NFT. I don't use crypto. Then Master 32 NFT. LOL. Yes, me. Okay, so here's the reason I'm asking. Now, I'm an old fart. Okay, I like being an old fart. Sometimes there are benefits to being an old fart, but cryptocurrency, that's an interesting concept. I don't mind getting behind it. I don't own any right now, but I don't mind getting one. But this thing NFT that keeps coming through my, lots of people are talking about it. And yesterday I had yet another 20-something-year-old who told me that he's got a business doing it, and I'm thinking that I would like to release some. As a matter of fact, I think I would like to inject that into these live streams. Now, let me explain something what an NFT is. Now, if you are over 25 years old, this is going to blow your mind, and I don't mean in a good way. So, you know how people collect stamps or little cars or whatever? People collect stuff, right? And baseball cards, whatever. And with time, people realize that, well, this ended up being a very rare thing, and this was a limited edition, and this was an original box, and this one's scratched and faded away. So there's a different value to those. Okay, so NFTs is the digital equivalent of that, which means that you can literally create as many memorabilia or items as you want. They're mainly the pictures or videos, and you can throw some other benefits along with it, like Gary Vee, for example. I think you get membership to his premium access stuff. But mainly, you can literally release bunch of just digital images, and they will become like your own baseball cards. And people can either buy them, or sometimes you can give them away for free. And with time, they can technically gain value, just like with any collectible. So it's essentially your baseball card. And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, those of you who are really up and up on this NFTs things. This is what I gather, and I'm also dumbing it down even further than somebody dumbed it up for me, and that was already pretty dumbed up. So and but at the same time, I think a lot of it will fail, but a lot of it could be something. And I would like to actually get in on that, because I think I can produce some valuable things. I need to think what those would be. And what I'm thinking is about, as part of the live stream, I would maybe come up with 4 NFTs. 3 I will give away for free, and it will probably will have some sort of a, some sort of I don't want to say competition, but a raffle of some sort, and I will give those for free. But one I will present as a more rare NFT or baseball card, and that one will be obviously for sale. Those who want to invest with crypto, and then of course we will track how the entire collection is doing. I would like this to not be just I drew a bunch of pictures for you, buy them. I think those will fail unless they already come from like a famous person, which I am absolutely not and never will be. So I would like to add some value to my NFT. So one, I'd like to know how many of you actually would like one, and two, what the value of that would be. Now, I am a graphics designer, so I can actually design interesting things. For example, like I've always wanted to create a fake car company, right? Have a car company with unveiling of a car in, like features and app and all that stuff. It will only exist virtually, because I kind of wanted to make fun of these, automakers or whatever that put out all these cars that they're never going to make. So I figure like, well, I might as well do one. I actually, you know what? I should have grabbed it, because you know what? Let me see if I can do it really quickly. But I had this concept that I called enormous BS 550, I think it was called. And let me see if I can find it really quick. And so I just kind of produced it because I thought, well, that would be kind of fun. Oh, I don't know if I have it here. It would be kind of fun because that would just shows that I can Photoshop stuff, and it really doesn't matter whether I produce it or not. Just like a lot of companies kind of do that. Let me see if I have my enormous BS here. I don't think so, guys. I don't want to spend more time browsing my computer. But let me know what the value of NFT would be. Maybe you've seen other YouTubers or influencers come up with something useful. Like I think Gary Vee's is useful because you also get to join their premium club. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine, you guys seen him on my show, Eli Burton. He bought an NFT from Gary a while back. I think it was several $1,000s, which is actually a lot for NFT, obviously. And then he just bought a Roadster from Dan, the host of the huge channel What's Inside. So he made $4,000 NFT, which again is just air, into whatever that Roadster is, 60, 70, $80,000, right? So that would be interesting to know if that would be something that you guys would be into. And I want to know what would that be, because I'm a creative guy. I'm a graphics designer. I would love to create a series of sort of electric baseball cards, if you will. So let's see. Grizzly HP2 says it would be fun to see a meme of Alex on high voltage. I think most of me is a person on high voltage, but thanks. That's good. Well, it was going to ruin my hair. All right. Let's see. I'm just kind of reading through some of your comments. Roger says NFTs are a group of stock of agencies on the stock exchange where the best selling company can sell. I'm not even that deep into it. Okay, this was a continuation, I think, of someone's thought. Did you see the? Okay, so here's one from Chris Bates. Hey, Chris, how you doing? I've seen you in my live chats a lot. Thank you so much for joining me again. Did you see the NFT on the first article about NFTs? And it was a digital photo of the article. Okay, that's interesting. No, I have not. Um, now Master Mason 32. I think it's your third super chat of the day. Thank you so much. Okay, he's at 50 to $100. Is that how much you would be willing to pay for an NFT, or you're answering some other question? Let me know. But I'm not worried about the price. I think I want to just do it as a fun project, and because I think it's going to be just fun for us to do. But what the value of it would it be? Would it be just creating a character, um, an electric character? Would it be like of a fake car company that I'm running virtually? Like I want to have value. I want to have a fun value, so it's a collection of fun stuff that has a theme and people get really behind it, and I can get into it. So let's see. So yeah, but let me know. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see if I missed any other super chats. Let's see. Pedro says, oh, this is in Russian, man. I can't. It's hard for me to translate. So if you don't mind, put it in English. But I clicked on the wrong one. I've actually wanted to click on. Oh, that's a good question. From Chris, does anyone here own an NFT? I would like to own one, actually. I think I'm gonna get one of Eli's. He's got a Starman NFT. Um, Okay, this one is Jim Parr, elucid with a monkey butt front. I see what you mean. You want me to do some photoshopping? Okay, all right, interesting. So I don't think I can feature cars on those NFTs because that's a copyrighted and patented stuff. So I can't just take a picture of a car and just sell it. That I think would be wrong too. So I don't know. Um, Grand 152 says, "Go for it, Alex." No, I'd like to go for it. I just need to. I want to bring value. I don't want to just throw stuff out there. Like I really want it to be fun and think something that we can also live chat about every week. Master Mason says, I have some NFTs. And then Cake Batter, love the username, says a long-term value of NFTs will be linked to their utility. Sell them to members for extra exclusive content, limit supply. So as memberships grows, the NFT value will grow. Yes, that is a great advice. So I'm thinking about, like, for example, the ones that I will give out for free during super chats, they will be less rare. The ones that you buy will be more rare. And the ones that, will probably be priced higher or include some other perks like premium membership would be up there. So I'm kind of like still thinking about it. Let's see. Okay, let's take some ENFT, says Christian Richard, referring to one of my favorite shirts that I've ever designed. I obviously I don't wear it as often, but it just says "Let's take some E," and it's the logo of my E for Electric channel. Pedro, I don't know if I want to feature that comment honestly, but I don't know what to do with it. Let's see. Wow, you guys are really getting into it. I didn't expect you're going to be all into the NFTs, but the idea of 4 different ones is great, 3 common and 1 rare. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. But like, I want to run it by people who are actually buying them, are into it, because again, I want to bring value. I like the idea of concept car NFT, says Chris Bates. I like that one too. That's kind of what I you know want to do. So the only problem with that, I'm not a 3D graphics designer, so I would have to hire someone, and they're not cheap, to actually design a 3D car inside and out, right? So we'll see. And let's see. Money is going away. Okay, so this is a great comment from hashtag Buzz Off Toxic blog. Yes, interesting. Do it. Yes, interesting. Do it and have fun. I think we all should have fun with it, right? Maybe you know what? Maybe these should be contributions from my members. You know, um, maybe I should have a little mascot and send it out to people, and they can put it in their cars and say, "Hey, that's an NFT," right? All right. Bev's exciting time of change and new money is going away. Yeah, money is going away. I mean, hopefully it's going into cryptocurrency format, but you know, I think the blockchain, just the concept of it, should also be used for voting, right? Like, I mean, we have all this voter fraud accusations all over the place. Places like Russia, where I'm from, are just definitely fraud. And this is a great way to actually have everybody have their own token and be able to vote, and it would be unhackable. So that's where I think it would be great to use. Roger says, start an NFT while you're young, not like me, old. Speaking from the grave in the Volkswagen. I'm pretty old myself. I'm 44. So, but you know what? There's a bunch of younger people in my life who I listen to. So I've learned this. I've learned this as a business person a while back when I was running a hair salon, actually, believe it or not, in San Jose, California. Listen to young people. They are up and up on what the next big thing is. You may not like it. As a matter of fact, as an old fart, I don't like a lot of things that are happening. This NFTs, I mean, they're fun, but honestly, like, are you kidding me? Right? They're not kidding me. They're serious and it's happening. So don't get me wrong. It's an interesting concept. It's a digital age, but I'm just saying they will tell you how it is. My assistant, he's 22, 23, Michael, right? He's been on this live stream. He knows what's up, what's cool on YouTube. Like a lot of stuff that you see on my channel, especially visually, a lot of it came from him. He basically said, Alex, this is what's hip now. This is how you present your YouTube channel. This is what people who became successful on YouTube do. And I was like, oh, I didn't have time to watch all of this, but he does. And listening, if you're a business owner, and even if you just want to be successful in life, I think listening to the next generation is important. Otherwise, otherwise you will pull a blockbuster. You know what I mean? Voting used to be anonymous. It is now, but that would make it definitely anonymous. And then Nigel, hey Nigel, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Money not going away anytime soon. Cryptocurrency, dodgy money laundering. I don't know about that. I mean, I think cryptocurrency is pretty solid, and I think we will be switching to that because it's also we won't be relying on banks, and it's pretty solid. So, um, here's an interesting comment from Chris. I think it is interesting how many 15-year-olds totally understand NFTs, and it takes me a while to believe that it's isn't a hoax. It isn't a hoax. I'm just had a hard time understanding that anybody can come up with a little image, which now anybody can just by snapping a picture or photoshopping whatever with your phone, and it becomes a memorabilia item and has value. So Roddick White says, in my village, the young people drive petrol cars and old people drive Teslas. You know what? That's a good point, but that's because we can afford them, right? And the kids can't. But believe you me, they will be running our lives soon, and that's why I want to listen to them and be friends with them, right? Um, Nigel says, I arrived late, showing my age, but what the hell is NFT? So I explained an NFT in a super dumb terms because that's what was explained to me a while back and last night by this 25-year-old, my friend's son, actually. And he's running a company based on this and making profits. And that's not what really triggered me. It's just because I've been hearing more and more about NFTs. So NFTs is basically a digital something. It's whether a video file or audio file, but most of the time it's a picture. It's a digital picture that you can put out there as a collectible item. Like, normally we would collect little cars or stamps or dolls or bottles, right? And baseball cards is a great example, right? But this is something that anybody can do and put it out there in hopes that it will gain value and, have limited editions and all of that stuff. And the way you pay for it is with cryptocurrency, and you can pay with different cryptocurrencies and so forth. So, that's a concept. And I mean, I'd like to do it because it sounds like it could be fun. Chris says, it seems like cash is dead already. You'll be surprised how many people I see pay in cash. And it's usually people who can use an extra dollar. I never pay cash just because I feel like it's a crime. Every time I can pay for anything with my credit card, I do it because, I mean, my credit card is on auto pay at the end of the month. So I never owe any money to the credit company. But I get, like, in my case, I have a, what is it called, the silver, whatever. I have 1.5% of cash back. So at the end of the year, and I have an Amazon card which has like 5% cash back for those. Like at the end of the year, just by shopping and not using cash and just using my credit card all year long, I collect about $1,000. I mean, I used to use those, for Christmas gifts and stuff like that, and it's just 1,000. It's a crime not to. And people paying cash, I just don't understand it. Honestly, I really don't. Um, Here's another comment. NFTs are project based off of Ethereum, right? But I think you can now use other cryptocurrency. You know what? I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know if Ethereum is a platform or cryptocurrency. So you guys correct me. Um, Nigel says, "Sorry, NFT passing phase." I'm still coming around on this. I Kevin N says they're selling you the right to the original coding, to the image or whatever you're buying. Fungible is translated as unique or original. Yeah, but you can copy an image. That's the thing. To me, you can't copy a collectible item. Do I have a collectible item anywhere? They're on my wall. Well, here's one, but I have my visor from my first Model S that's signed by Elon. But here's a puck. Here, here's my I play hockey. This is the puck, roller hockey, that I scored my very first goal with, right? To me, it's a collectible. If I was famous, it was probably be worth something. But you know, June 24th, 2010. Something like this cannot be copied, obviously, right? So, but all this digital stuff can be. So that's why I'm like, yeah. I mean, I get that not fungible means you can't touch it, but that's kind of the problem with it. I think, again, old fart, get off my lawn. But um, let's see. I'm just looking for another. Kevin answers absolutely. This is why NFTs are basically a scam. So I don't know if it's a scam, right? I mean, you can collect. I mean, yes, you're not going to be able to have it in a box, originally wrapped, or perfect condition versus not perfect condition. But there are other things that can be attached to it, right? Like services, memberships, and stuff like that. And you can create a collection of things, and people can own. So essentially, think about it as art, right? You can duplicate art. You take a picture or you do prints, but owning the original, there's something to it. So this is almost like owning the original. That's what it's in my head. That translates to. Let's see the next comments from Mark. Alex, if it costs you nothing but time, then yes. Well, actually, time is my most. If I could throw money at it, actually, it would be much easier. Time. You might have not caught the beginning of the stream, but I just had the second day off in the whole year. So time is a bit valuable for me. Honestly, this is what I do. Like, this channel is what I do most of the time. The only other three things that I do is sleep, well, eat and sleep, date. I mean, I'm a single guy, so I'm gonna go out on dates, and I go out and hopefully meet women, and play hockey and soccer. That's it. That's my whole life. But majority of it is this channel. So time is a bit valuable. But he continues. He says, if you are using your money to do this, only if it's expendable money. Otherwise, if it's too good to be true, it's not something you should do. Well, honestly, NFT was almost like an excuse to do it. I'm wondering if it could be something fun that we can all talk about in a live stream, because it does create its own universe of that. And I thought that would be a great way to connect electric cars to the community, to something we kind of to a collection of something, right? So, for example, my virtual car company can be a reflection of a lot of things that are going in the automotive industry, you know so I'm starting to like that idea more and more. I gotta tell you, what do you guys think? Okay, I got another super chat with Master Mason. Holy crap, man, this is your fourth one today. Thank you. I mean, I'm really humbled. Okay, he says there's a different networks. Most popular are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Beyonce coins. I'm just gonna pronounce it Beyonce. um, fall into one of those networks, the NFTs also are on one of the networks. So, from what I understand, you can have NFTs connected to one of them, and then you can always transfer money to the other one. Oh my God, are you serious? You just did another one. This is your fifth super chat. Thank you, I appreciate it. For example, Shib. I don't know what Shib is, but I'm assuming one of the platforms. NFT is one on the Ethereum chain because SHIB INU is on Ethereum chain. Okay, personally, I think Ethereum is the best chain technology. The problem with that, from what I understand, is the cost of transaction is so high. A lot of times, it's not worth the item you're getting. Especially, when you throw out the new NFTs, they can be very expensive. So, um, you yeah, and if the fee is $50, then it's not worth it. I think that's a problem with Ethereum right now, from what I understand. Um, let's see. Here's one from Fu Kung Flu. The real. I'm not really sure if I'm cool with that handle. I gotta tell you, man. I'm just gonna call you F. How's that? Because this could be technically considered not cool. The real question is, will stores in the future accept an NFT for payment for goods, or even a dealership for a car? Well, I don't think that's what they meant to be, right? Like, I can't pay at the grocery store with a baseball card, right? But they are going to be worth cryptocurrency that probably will be accepted at grocery stores and so forth, right? So I think that's where this is going. Um, Grizzly HP2 says, say something like, Alex is the greatest Don Juan after Casanova, I'm assuming you meant. I don't know about that. I do all right, but I don't know about that. I'm still obviously single, so that's something. All right, Master Mason 32 with his sixth super chat of the day continues to say, Shiba Inu coin um, is how I'm doing the super chats right now. Oh, interesting. It's a coin I bought in a while back. Well, that's cool. And you translate it into US dollars because that's what your super chats in. Cool, man. Thank you so much for spending your valuable cryptocurrency on my Chipotle. I really, really do appreciate it. Let's see. Um, oh, okay. I think I saw something. Oh, hey, what's going on, man? How are you, my friend? By the way, if you guys don't know who this guy is, check out his channel. It's pretty big. He says, "What's up?" Hey, you know what? If you are okay, and he super chatted. Damn, man, long time. I don't remember last time we saw each other. Right? Was it the Volkswagen unveiling at the Peterson Museum in LA? But anyway, thank you for the super chat. He says, "When are you doing my podcast?" Whenever you're ready, honestly. And by the way, if you have your webcam on right now, you can jump on if you want. I will send you my here. I will send you my invitation right here. I put it in the chat room, and if you click on it, you can join me right now. Split screen, man. We can talk about NFTs or whatever you want to do. But whenever you want me to do a podcast, go ahead. I've been a guest on different podcasts and YouTube channels almost like once a week. I think I'm doing JD Powers podcast like next week or something like that. Yeah, it's Peterson Museum. That's right. Um, yeah, if you want to jump on, man, right now, go ahead. I was kind of wrapping things up, but I got really carried away with NFT conversation. I want to know your opinion about it and whether or not you offer it to your audience. Your audience is, by the way, do me a favor, also drop your channel's URL in the live chat so people can check it out because it's awesome. Nigel says nobody works for nothing. So I think NFT is like the story of the king with no clothes. Well, so just like I said, I think it's what you're going to make of it, right? Like you can also you can say that as somebody who paints something, right, like a painter, puts in just as much work as somebody who puts into digital graphics, like even the amount of skill and time they put into it. And some of them worth nothing, right? When I scribbled it and put it on my refrigerator, nothing, right? But sometimes art becomes famous and relevant and interesting, and they become collectible. So I think there is something to it. I would be missing the part of, being able to touch it and knowing that it has some history and it's like, the physical item actually. Again, like this is worth a lot to me. If somebody steals it from me and I have to buy it off of them, I'll pay a lot of money for it, right? This is the puck that I scored my very first goal. But you guys, if I'm going to put it up on eBay, you will probably pay me $5 for it just because the case is 10, right? So it's all relevant. But I like the idea because, like I said, like I want to bring in the value. If I can come up with a series of, this baseball digital cards of, let's say, a car that only I created virtually, and it is a topic of the conversation, then I think there is value in it. Uh, there you go. Is the Jay Ramirez says, is the E for electric jingle an NFT? Here's the thing. I mean, I don't want to make it into an NFT, but if I did, you would own a jingle of my channel, right? So it's there is value there too, right? Because maybe I have to license it from you. Maybe you're gonna license it to Warren, for example, right? So you never know. Um, all right, there's some questions for okay. All right. Well, let me know. Oh, I don't see you in the green room, but let me know if you're going to join, or maybe you're already gone. But it's good to see you either way. Here is Brad Jackson. He says, any thoughts on what we know about the Fisker Ocean so far? I like the way the car looks on the inside. It's a beautiful, beautiful car. Not that much of a fan of the outside. It's all right. I love Fisker as a designer. So. Um, I expected more, but also it's going to have a subscription model, which looks like they're going with. And now that they're a public company, they have money and they're going with Magna, and Magna is now their partial owner. I feel like it's solid. Foxconn is also going to be making their next car. I feel like there's plenty of stuff that makes me. I would be shocked if Fisker Ocean is not on the road by the end of the next year. Magna is a mega house, and if they said they're going to make something, they're going to make it. I mean, they make, I think, I-Pace and many other cars in the industry. Most people just don't know that, like, the car is not made by the actual manufacturer, but was outsourced to Magna. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to see Henrik and the Ocean at the LA Auto Show next month. Brad says, yes, you can animate art and you have music go with it. Yeah, absolutely. Like it could be a GIF, it could be animated GIF. NFT could be a video, by the way. That's another thing. So yeah, no, there's tons of things that I think does make it pretty valuable. Um, Jay Ramirez says, I think Apple is going to use Foxconn to make the Apple EV. Yes. Well, we'll see. It goes back and forth. All right. We are gonna bring in the guest. I'm gonna have him introduce himself. I'm just gonna put him right in there. So let me just get rid of this. All right. You ready? Are you okay? He says he's ready. All right, guys. Expected guest, but I think Apple is going to the live stream. How you doing? Hey, first of all, introduce yourself.
Pretty good. Let me just see why.
It goes back and forth. All right, we are gonna bring in the guest. I'm gonna have him introduce himself because I cannot.
Yeah, I think it's some.
Your mic is off. Your mic is off. But let me.
Oh, the mic.
Let me switch this like this.
Can you hear me?
All right. Meanwhile, while you figuring out the mic thingy. Oh, wait a second. Say it again. It's my
1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
No. My bad. It was my speakers that were off. You were perfectly fine. I've only been doing it for 5 years, so I'm still learning how to use microphones and speakers. Anyway, how are you doing, my friend? Please introduce yourself to everybody and tell them what you do, and we'll put your channel URL in the chat as well.
Hi everyone. I'm Jehu Garcia. I don't even know how to explain myself. I do electric cars. I'm actually in New York City, not in New York City, New York State, doing a TV show. We're converting an old classic car into an electric vehicle for Discovery Channel. And so I'm in my room right now. We just got back, and I have a YouTube channel where I do all that stuff. But yeah, you and I met at the Peterson Museum. because we were checking out the new Volkswagen, which now I guess now you own, right? You have
So
you're
that was in the
driving that.
ID4. Yeah, no. So I have an ID4 now, but I think the presentation was with a station wagon, which was an ID6 or something like that. Like I don't even see it being on the market yet. But yeah, but that was an interesting night. The presentation wasn't that great, but I met a lot of cool people that night, including you. So yeah, absolutely. Um,
Ah.
I didn't realize you were doing that thing with the Discovery Channel, man. That's really awesome. What are you doing with them?
So it's one of these TV shows with a big actor and stuff, and they're trying to make all kinds of older cars into better cars. And I'm not I'm not at liberty to disclose a lot about this stuff, but it's just basically we're converting. My part of it was converting an old car into an electric. And
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to air. I don't even know what the name of the show is going to be yet, but eventually, hopefully, I get to see it on TV. That's why I'm out of here. Um,
Same, same here, man. I hopefully it does make it. I mean, like I feel like television could use a lot of us people who are on YouTube and have different opinions because I think with all these channels on TV, I feel like the format is still the same. There's no variety. So someone like you can jump in and bring so much, such a different perspective and just different approach to how you communicate to the audience, right? Rather
yeah.
than just regular TV hosts.
Yeah, and I think it's the same mission. In my channel, I'm just trying to convince everyone to not throw their old cars away, to give them new life, to make them electric. It does a lot of good things, a lot of good things, right? Like it checks a bunch of little boxes that are good for you, for the environment, for your pocket and everything. And so this TV show, I think, is doing the same thing. That's why they invited me to come on board and be part of it. I was just kind of advising them how to do it because I've done it before, kind of thing.
No, that's
But
awesome, man. You deserve it. Absolutely. Like sometimes I get people who are, I'm like, well, why did you get that? But when they get some actually quality people, I think that's awesome. So Pedro says in the chat room that it was ID Space Vision that we were at the veiling off. Was it the Space Vision? It was Vision of
maybe
something.
I don't remember the name of it, but it was an ID6. Yeah, it was that a white station wagon
Yeah,
that they
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
with.
So
It was
well,
weird because I love Volkswagen. I drive one every day. I'm out here, it's like it's surrounds my life. But like the modern Volkswagen, I'm like, nah, it's like these guys don't. I'm like, they're crooks, they're whatever. I haven't forgiven them for Dieselgate, kind of thing.
a lot of people haven't, but the thing is, like I always say that, like I mean, I'm Jewish, and I've forgiven BMW, Mercedes, and Volkswagen because it was a while back. So but at the same time, those people who ran Volkswagen back then, they're all in jail where they belong. And
A
if
lot of them,
anything,
right? Yeah.
yeah. And if anything, the reason the Volkswagen Group has produced so many good, reasonable, and even affordable cars like the ID4 is because they're running so far away from the Dieselgate that they are, Herbert Diess is like, kicking butt. So I think if it was no Dieselgate, there would be no Herbert Diess running this company in the right direction. Did you see what he posted on LinkedIn the other day?
No.
Oh, that was insane. He basically posted the statistics how electric Volkswagen Group cars are better and cheaper than gas-powered Volkswagen Group cars, including Tiguan, which was their best-selling car for 3 years now.
Wow.
Like that is just insane. That's something me and you should be doing. But like the
He's gonna
CEO,
cannibalize his own line.
right? He's
Well, not really,
literally
because if he wins another sale on the electric side, then it's a good thing. You didn't. I think maybe people will see that he's being genuine. He's not going to hide the fact that maybe it is cheaper to to run or to use an electric car, right?
Yeah.
To
And
own it.
don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for the Electrify America charging network, which essentially was paid by the Dieselgate. And that's why I can use it for free because I'm ID4 owner. I don't know if have you checked out the ID4 in person and like drove it and stuff like that?
I haven't. No, I haven't. I know I have a friend that owns one. I think he
Oh, that's
asked me.
me. I'm your friend who owns one.
There's another somebody
No,
else that
another one.
that drives one, and he asked me, what should I get? And I'm like, get an electric car. And then he goes, what about a Tesla? I go, yeah, I get a Tesla. We drive a Tesla, and it's great. But then he's like, no, but I like the BW. I'm like, yeah, get a BW. I don't care. So then he went and got it, and yeah, he loves it. I mean, he's totally in love with it. It's like,
I love it too, and I see more and more of them on the road. Like here in Sacramento, we're not really that big on electric cars for some reason. I think it's just the money thing. But I've been seeing more and more ID4s here in the Bay Area where I hang out once in a while. So it's definitely out there. Fully electric in the chat room says, "What about the VW bus?" I will be the first minute reservation holder for VW bus. I want it badly, so I'm looking forward to it. I have a little bit more information that I can share, but trust me, it's coming.
oh, well, every time people ask me about the BW bus, I'm like, it's vaporware. They've been announcing that for 10, 20 years and they haven't brought it. There's several versions of it. So I'm just, yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't cut them a lot of slack, right? The modern BW. But you never know. One day I will. Maybe my point of view will change. I can hold a grudge, I guess.
That's fine. And you know what? It's up to them to win people like you. Like, it's absolutely reasonable to hold grudge because of Dieselgate. It's reasonable to be questioning electric cars, technology, whatever that's happening right now. I mean, I don't think we, as a community, as industry, whatever, have proven everything, and it's a process. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Listen, if you live in an apartment complex, you probably shouldn't be buying an electric car, right? If you have nowhere to charge it overnight, like what are you going to do? We got to work on that.
Yeah, yeah. There are, and there's not much you could do. I thought about maybe like creating a DIY box of batteries that you can charge in your home, and then at the end of the day, when you bring your car and you have to park it in the parking lot, then you roll up this battery box and you connect it to your car, and you get some charging. You're not gonna get like full charge because batteries are big and expensive and heavy, right? So, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to come up with something for those people because they are the ones that need it the most, right? Like I've actually seen videos of people saying like, oh, what it is to own a Tesla and live in an apartment, and it's hard life. They have to like go and charge, after work and leave the car over there and then walk home, and it's like a big old ordeal that has to happen because they're just you can't just get charging at home. It's crazy.
By the way, what do you drive now? I like as your a regular,
So
regular ride, you know?
my daily still my BW bus. Well, I have one more than one now, and it's a different one than the one I started with. But yeah, definitely it's a converted BW bus. At
It's
67, and
awesome.
it's got Tesla batteries, and it's
What's
got
the range on it?
10-year-old Tesla batteries, by the way.
What's the
For
range
those,
on it? Do you know?
it's about 160 miles, so it's not a huge range, but it's enough for my daily needs. We're actually going to take it up to that Holly event. Do you know about that event? It's called High Voltage. Holly.
Is it in Sonoma?
Yes,
Yeah, so I just got invited there. I'm probably gonna go. Are you gonna go?
I think so. Yeah, I think we're gonna take our bus there just to show it. Just it's not like a pretty bus. It's like literally the one that I haven't restored. Is the original paint is like
That's even
half,
better that it's electric.
but it's electric, and I drive it every day,
Yeah.
and it's got a ton of views on YouTube. I think together both of those buses have something like 50 million views or something. I think my channel is getting around there, and most of them are because of the electric bus, right?
Huh.
Let's face it here. People don't watch the channel because of me, as they do
Yeah.
it because of the car.
People don't watch my channel because of me either, so I'm totally understand. Somebody
Yeah.
asked, Jeremy Ramirez asked, does Russia make an EV? No, the only thing that we make really is vodka, oil, and poison for, Putin's political opponents. That's really the only export we do over there. But so what are you working on right now, man? Tell us about it.
Well, I got this crazy idea that I keep talking about in every one of my podcasts. I sound like a
Crazy
broken
ideas
record.
are the best ideas.
So here's what I want to do. See, like making like restoring a classic car is a lot of work and a lot of money, and so only the rich and the crazy people, crazy focus, crazy like can do that, right? And can experience that. Then converting a car into an electric, that's also another crazy expensive. and it's a lot of work. It's also that just rich people and crazy people get to experience that. So I'm like, why don't I build a fleet of these cars and then rent them to people? Because that's how you would put, people, we give them that experience, that it's limited to just to, rich crazy people, right? And I want to do it, and I want to send them to Hawaii, because every time that anyone goes to Hawaii, they go usually for about a week, and they end up renting a car anyways. But imagine renting a classic electric VW bus that you can take pictures and post them on Instagram, and then it's got all the little windows, and you can see all the waterfalls, and
Yeah.
and you can feel good about it because you're not contaminating a pristine, island, sort of like the Hawaii Islands.
You know who's buying electric cars for to rent it out? Hertz. You might want to get into
So
that. If
Hertz,
you can make 100,000 of those, my friend, you'll be in.
imagine what that's gonna do. Like, people who now they were like, well, I don't know about electric cars, but now like, oh, I gotta rent a car. Well, I still take the Tesla. Now all of a sudden, all it takes is putting people in the car, have them drive, and then all of a sudden they're convinced. They're like, well, I'm getting one of these.
Well, that's
I'll give
the
you an
way.
example. I
Yeah.
am here in New York, and I am here working in a shop that is a restoration shop. And these guys are all about, you know, pistons and cars and turbos and blowers. They've been doing it forever. These are guys are old man that been around muscle cars all their lives. So now I come in, and for this TV show, I'm like showing them how to make an electric car. Right? There's a couple of these guys that are like, oh, they haven't even driven it. We just got the tires to spin and stuff, but none of them have taken a ride in it yet. And they're like, we want to do this. They're convinced just by working on one. Imagine now we put them inside of a Tesla while they're on vacation. I mean, it's gonna sell so many electric cars. Just that venture that just happened here. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I love it. So now earlier we were talking about NFTs. Do you know anything about NFTs?
Just the basic stuff that everyone knows that I don't know what they are. I
Ah,
have trouble grasping my mind
you might
exactly
want to
what they
look
are.
into it because if you come up with one, that I think there's some value there. But I mean, so I tried. So it's the 20-something-year-olds that have explained it to me. And last night there was a 25-year-old who's making money on this, and it's this crazy idea that you know baseball cards or any collectibles can be a digital item like a picture or animated gif or sound file or video file, and you can make them collectibles, and they can rate go up in value. They could be limited or whatever, and you can sell them for a certain price or even give it away, but the value is in cryptocurrency, and that's pretty
Mhm.
much it. Now, of course, like I said, like I showed this memorabilia, they like it ages. You put it, you preserve it, so it's and then original packaging and all that stuff. It has character, but this stuff is more like if it's a painting, somebody essentially created a digital painting or animated painting, and then they kind of sold it, and it gains value over time. Um, I mean, it's kind of freaking crazy. At the same time, it's kind of fun. So I think I'm thinking about doing it because what I wanted to do for a while. Let me know if you like this idea. I wanted to create a virtual fake car company that would also be crazy like Elon Musk on Twitter, but at the same time it would be like a fake car, it would have a car, it would have unveilings and all of that stuff and features, production plans and stuff. But it would be a unique car, and it would kind of reflect the irony and humor of the electric car growing pain in the industry, right? And so my
Yeah.
NFTs would be around that. So I was thinking, like, what do you think about creating a virtual fake car company?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's similar to like fantasy sports, right?
Yes. Yes.
It would be close to that. And at the beginning, I remember I thought like I had trouble grasping that concept, but then eventually at one point, I'm like, wait a minute, your investment in these sports it's tenfold now because you have investments in every team in the league, and every sport, and also. So I'm like, okay, I get that. I don't know. It might be crazy enough to work. I think you're in something.
Yeah.
You're on
When I said a fake car company, Jerry Ramirez goes like Nicola.
like
Yes,
Nicola.
exactly like it. Except for I don't do well in jail, so I think I will do everything that like that. But I think I'd rather not go to jail. So it's
Yeah,
just
that
my
is
preference,
crazy.
personal preference. Everyone's different. There's no
Is that guy
Chipotle
in
in
jail
jail.
already? By the way, I
He's not. I
just
think
saw
he's
the.
awaiting. No, he's. I mean, he's awaiting trial. But there's a very possibility. I mean, when you commit something like that, like fraud and defraud investors, if Martha Stewart went to
Rich
jail,
people will
anybody.
come for you.
Yeah, yeah, um,
Rich people will come for you.
yeah, yeah.
Steal
So
money. If you steal money, don't steal from the rich. All right, that's good advice right
that's
there.
great advice. I'll make sure of that. Fully Electric says NFTs can really be anything digital, such as drawings, music. Your brain download it and turned into an AI. Like, yeah, it could be. I just still, it's so weird. But I'd like to get in on it, not so much for the money, but for the fun of it. I think so. It's definitely something I've been thinking about. But yeah, man. And so, by the way, I'd be more than happy to do the podcast. I didn't even know you had a
Yeah,
podcast, by the way. So,
that's the thing. Most people don't know. Even my audience doesn't know. I'm like, hey, watch my podcast.
okay, well,
But
you're
I think I haven't. I think coming up is Sandy Monroe, and then he does the monthly thing with you, right? And so
weekly
I
now. We actually
oh,
just did it
weekly.
what we well because here's the thing. We tape two topics now every month, and it takes like 45 minutes to tape. And and then it takes such a long time to edit each one and they're pretty long. So I basically split them up into like 10 or 15-minute videos, which is I think is long enough for YouTube. And my audience loves him. I love him. So essentially he's got kind of his own time slot on my channel. It's always fun. He's got his own channel, but I give him topics that he normally doesn't discuss on his channel. So I think, but I had him on way before he was on, he's got his own channel and stuff like that. So
Before he blew up.
before he blew up. So I'm very proud that I found him. And Tom Malogny is another great journalist who's on my channel that's now also blowing up on YouTube and other social media. So I'm glad I'm surrounded by these amazing people. I always like to be the dumbest person in the room. So essentially, anybody who is on my channel ever, they are like 5 times as smart as I am. And that's kind of what this is what it's all about. That's why you are on, for example.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, no, I like to be the dumbest. No.
Well, sorry, this is not the right room for you then. So, um,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah,
well,
but no,
cool, man.
it's I want to have you because you're interested in and what you're covering there. Like it's hard work what you're doing. I feel like I can't keep up. People ask me all the time about stuff, Tesla, this and what's happening in the scene, and I'm like, I don't know. I can barely keep up with my stuff. And so
That's how I started because originally, so I never like anybody. I'm sure you have the same story. Actually, I'd like to hear it in a second. But like, I never wanted or thought about being a YouTuber. When I bought my first Tesla, people thought we were all crazy, and I created a Facebook group for other crazy people, and then kind of became bigger and bigger. But like much like you at that time, I just didn't keep up with the news of Tesla, so I created a 60 second a week quick update for my members, right? As a service. We never thought it was gonna, and then it just took off, right? And until this day, my main video is a news video. So like, it's a lot. And then, I expanded to all electric cars. So it's a lot, man. Every time I struggle, there's 20, 30 different stories, and I try to pick only five because that's, everything that all that people can handle really. But yeah, it's crazy. But can you tell me the story and all of us, like, how did you become a full-time YouTuber? I don't know if you consider yourself, like, I put a title, social media influencer.
I am a full time YouTuber now for
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
years. Yeah.
So
So I
how?
grew up wanting to make movies, right? I wanted to make movies, but of course, these people that grow up wanting to be in movies, they don't know what movies are. And I was an outsider, so it was really hard. I come from nothing, no connections, no money. When I was growing up, we didn't have electricity, that sort of stuff. Like super,
Me
like
too. I lived in Russia too. Yeah, totally hear
really
you.
okay, yeah. I grew up in the
Electricity,
80s.
electricity or bread. you know?
Or running water. I didn't have
Right.
running water. So,
Yeah.
so
No,
my
I hear
opinion's
you.
a little bit different than everyone in America. But when I was 10 years old, I came here, and then I kind of failed at going to school because you can't just drop a 10-year-old kid in the school system and expect them to flourish. I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
failed at it. So what happened is that I wanted to, the dream still kept going. And what I figured what to do, I got a job. like I was a carpenter and I was good at it, but I hated it. I didn't. That wasn't my thing. It wasn't my passion. But always kept thinking like I need to do something. I gotta get out of here. Like I gotta get out of here. Gotta do something. So what I ended up doing is figuring out how to do this one little thing, like a little adapter for video cameras to make them look more cinematic. And I stumbled upon this and I made it and I posted on the forums and it went wild. In the matter of weeks, I had a company and I had people, so many orders from people that were asking me to do it for them. And I had to get my friends involved and all. The next thing I knew, I had a company with like 20 employees. And that was great, except that I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know how to run a business, right? That's like first time around. So as quickly as it came up, it crashed. And so I didn't understand, the markets are in a bubble. And so when the 5D Mark II came out, that was that camera DSLR that would shoot video. Then I kind of jumped on that. And then, that kind of sustained me for a little bit. I was making accessories for that. And after that, then I had to figure something to do something, and I thought, I'm helping people make videos and make little movies, but I haven't even found the time to make the movies. And that's why I'm building these tools, is to make movies, but yet I haven't done it because I don't have the time. So I was kind of forced to start because my company had failed and I didn't have a job. And I thought, well, my brother came and said, hey, there's a lot of people making quite a bit of money making videos, and they're doing like daily videos. And I thought, daily videos? You're crazy. What do you mean a daily video? Like a video takes months to make. What are you talking about? So then I kind of looked at what the people were doing and I thought, oh, they're doing little videos, like little stories, little movies. Okay, I think I can do that. And so I just started doing that. But the problem was that I didn't know what to say. You have to have something to say when you're going to make a movie, even if it's a little movie. And at that time, what I was doing, I was making an electric car. I wanted to drive and I wanted to buy a Tesla, but Tesla was not selling cars at that time yet. So I thought, well, hell, I'm going to have to make one. So then I thought, I'm going to learn to make an electric car by myself. I'm going to research it online and I'm just going to do it. And so that process was what I started putting on the videos, and it caught fire. I mean, people were like, yes, watching me learn and stumble, and figure out how to make a classic car into an electric vehicle. That's what launched my YouTube channel. And here we are years later. So in the early days, I was the only one. I was like crazy. It was 10 years ago. Like before Tesla started selling electric cars, I had my little car. And people would tell me that I was crazy, that this would never happen. I'm like, no, this is the future. This is the future. People are like, yeah, sure, whatever. Get out of here,
I
And
remember that.
now I'm still driving 10 years later, driving my little bus. And I drive down my street and like every one of my neighbors have electric cars. So I'm like, oh, who's the crazy one now, right? It's
Yes,
like,
exactly. That's what I keep saying. All right. The fully electric in the chat room says, I remember all that, but the building of the battery packs and power walls took you off.
yeah, that's what it was. So I realized that the hard part about the electrification process was the battery. It was expensive. You had to buy it in China. And, there's a lot of shady characters in China. You would pay money and then they would just disappear on your money. And then they would ask you to like wait 4 months or something to put it on some ship. And then you have to show up at some port and try to like figure out how. You're like, no, this is crazy. So what I ended up doing is,
It's easier to buy drugs than cars. Wow.
yeah, isn't that crazy? What I ended up figuring out is how to reuse batteries. Because I figured I look at what Tesla was doing. I'm like, wait, this guy's using laptop batteries. Like they literally are laptop batteries. They've been around for 10 years at that point, 20, 15 years or something like that. And I'm like, well, there are 1 million laptops in the United States, and there's got to be some good batteries in there. So I started doing the research, how to salvage them, how to buy them, how to test them, how to, basically like how to hack your way into building a DIY battery. And little by little, that's what I've been doing. And now, we figure out where these battery lots are, and they're growing. And now, before we used to have to use like kind of like semi-dead laptop battery cells, right? But now what we're getting is access to these giant lots of like sometimes brand new, unused battery
Wow.
cells that we are now turning into little DIY power walls, little mobility scooters, DIY, scooters or skateboards, and even to like DIY electric cars.
Yeah. Cool, man. I love hearing success stories, especially on YouTube. Just absolutely awesome. And you've been so. I mean, what another great story of how when you have something and you just put a camera on yourself, people will come and be really, really enthusiastic and excited about it. Well, listen, I was gonna go live for like an hour, and it's been like I don't know, 40 minutes. So
You've been forever.
it gets
That's
away
how these
from me
go.
every time because see the thing is you can't repost an hour and 40 minute video, right? So, but it's great to see you now. I don't know if we ever exchange information. You can easily contact me on Twitter. I'm at
Okay,
T
I'm gonna
for
have my
Electric.
guys. I have a guy that books all my things, and I have him contact you. We'll do this.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I love doing this, and
We'll do
I
it.
always feel like I get to say different things when I'm a guest rather than when I'm a host of my own channel. So I love being a guest somewhere else because it gives me such a different sort of a space to do different things. So I really like it. So I really appreciate you, man,
Okay.
coming on and just coming into my chat room. It's always a pleasure to see you, and I'm so excited. I hope that Discovery Channel thing takes off. You belong on
I
TV,
hope
my
so.
friend.
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely. But yeah, reach out to me and let's stay in touch. Hopefully I will see you on
Okay.
that thing in Sonoma. I'm just about to
Yeah,
answer.
if you're there, hit me up. We'll be there. We're
Well,
gonna be
I'm
there
in
at
Sacramento,
your
so
place.
it's just a drive for me.
Oh, yeah, you're close.
Yeah, I'm relatively
There's
close.
also there's another one that's called Autotopia that is in LA area. And
There's
that's
so many. Wait a second. Aren't you going to be at SEMA? You got to be at SEMA, right?
yes, I'm gonna try
Oh,
to go to SEMA. I don't know
well,
how I'm gonna get there, but I might have to because I
well,
haven't done the registration and yeah.
I usually prefer airplanes, but you do your own thing. But I partially live in Vegas, so I will be there for SEMA from the 1st to the 9th, and Rich is going to be there. We're going to hang out, so I hope you join us for that.
Okay.
Ford
Yeah,
F-150 Lightning is going to be there, so I hope you get there because it's like next week, so I will be
yeah.
there for sure.
I'll
Just hit
sneak
me up.
in.
Yeah,
I've
sneak
snuck
in.
in before. I know
Yeah.
so many people that are gonna be there. That I'm like, hey, can I go with you? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't
They
forget to
just
get the media pass because that's how you get in. They
yeah,
don't have media days though. It's really hard to tape at SEMA because there are no media days and people don't care if you have a camera and if you're working,
oh
right?
yeah,
Like I had
yeah,
bloopers from SEMA where we had lights and cameras and microphones and people would still walk right in front of you, right? So it's
yeah.
crazy.
They
But
don't care.
yes, fully
All
electric
right.
says a V8 Tesla. I think Rich will be bringing that. I definitely want to drive that.
So I don't want to say, but I think Rich is involved in this same project that I'm in. So
Well, you
here,
must
and
be there. You must be there, my friend. Anyway, I'm definitely going to be there.
yeah.
Just hit me up. Twitter is the easiest way to contact me. So, yeah, man,
Okay,
thanks
we
once
will.
again. And I will let you go to do all the
Thank you.
things, including making your bed, apparently. There. So,
Yeah, I just walked in. Thank
housekeeping.
you for having me on.
Yeah. All right, man. Absolutely.
Okay,
Hopefully, I'll see you soon, man.
okay, we will. Thank you.
All right.
Bye,
I will
everyone.
talk to you later. Bye. All right, guys, that is so awesome. Every time somebody ends up, someone really cool ends up in the chat room and gets on camera with me. I love it. That's great. I remember meeting him at that event, and that event was just kind of so bad. It was at the Peterson Museum, and the museum itself to me was the bigger highlight. So, and I didn't know who he was. We were just hanging out at first, and I was like, "Hey, who?" Because I think someone who was with me, maybe it was Tom. He was like, I was like, "Do you know these guys?" Like, "Oh yeah, you should watch his channel." I was like, "Oh wow, that's cool." It's always great to meet somebody first without knowing who, like, what their channels are, what they do. I met this guy, Mr. Beast, at this video conference, at the YouTube conference, and he turned out to be like one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. But I didn't know he was just a guy in front of me in the Starbucks, and we, just everyone's talking there, right? So it's always good to know that people are great, no matter how big and popular they are. It's definitely it's definitely a treat. All right, let me see if there's a couple more answers I can answer, questions I can answer. Before that, of course, let's do another reminder that this video is sponsored by Energy Pal, and that's something you guys got to check out if you're looking for a home system. It's the best place online to shop for it. Review, compare quotes. They essentially do all the hard work for you, and you get to save. And you'll also get the best rates and the exclusive $500 gift card upon the installation of your system. Check out the link in the description of this video. That's how you get that $500 gift card. Thank you to Energy Pal. We got another super chat, and this one is actually a pretty big one, almost $20. That's two. Chipotle Meals from Fully Electric. He says, awesome show, Alex. Very cool. See you next week. Absolutely, you will. I should schedule the next stream uh, soon because last time I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and I know I'm not gonna be able to get to NFTs for maybe a week or two. But I love doing this, guys. I love hanging out with you. I like when people join me like absolutely unplanned. It's always fun. So thank you to all of you. Thank you for the super chatters. I wish I would have a list of people who super chatted actually, so I can just kind of think. I know Nate super chatted a few times. Then Master Mason 32 super chatted a few times. I'm just kind of scrolling up and up and up, and it's mainly those two guys. But thank you for everybody, guys. Like again, you make my day, and I love hanging out with everybody. But at this point, I am going to say goodbye, good night, until next time this Thursday. Me and Sandy Monroe. It's a part two of the who's the number two after Tesla video. And then on Sunday, I have a feeling there will be quite a few topics once again that are going to be fun to talk about. So thank you. Definitely looking forward to all the comments that I see submitted afterwards. And of course, as always, remember to stay charged.